In a recent summit in Saudi Arabia with countries that you can say that they are mostly shunned by the West, Saudi is looking to boost their political ties and economic ties with these countries. The Saudis signed a lot of deals with these countries. The Nigerian Minister of State announced that the Saudis will invest in Nigerian refineries, that they will also move billions of dollars into Nigeria to help the acute shortage of foreign exchange in Nigeria, which is the primary reason the Naira has been losing value against the dollar. Yes, this is coming from the Nigerian government. On the other hand, the Saudis announced that they will be investing $25 billion in Africa. According to the Crown Prince, while making his opening statement in the summit, he said that Saudi Arabia is planning new investments of over $25 billion in various sectors, that they will secure $10 billion from their exports, and provide a development finance of more than $5 billion to Africa until 2030. Nigerian government officials are very good at hyping events like this. They use these kind of events to cover their own inefficiencies. We all know what happened in Dubai recently when they claimed something else and the UAE authorities came out with a different thing altogether. So without going into the veracity of the claims, the most important focus here is why Nigerian governments all over the years are always moving around the world with begging bowls, begging countries to come and invest in their country. Is that the right approach to getting foreign investors? And how many countries do you see around the world that does the same thing, that moves around begging people to come and invest in their country? We'll come back to this in a moment. What amount in billions of dollars do you need to circulate in Nigeria's economy in order to stabilize the exchange rate? Practically billions or even up to $1 trillion. Yes, you need that huge amount because the demand keeps rising. And why do you need to stabilize the exchange rate? It is simply the main driver of inflation in Nigeria because the economy is mostly import dependent. When you import fuel and diesel into the country, these oils are huge drivers of the economy. Huge trucks all depend on diesel to haul goods all around the country, from the ports to the warehouses and vice versa. A huge percentage of public transports depend on petrol to run. So all these oils that you import, if you don't have a stable exchange rate, they will always lead to inflation. If the exchange rate is at 800 to $1 today, and before a petrol consignment arrives Nigerian port, it has reached about 1,000 to $1, the importer will simply adjust the price in order to be able to order a new one after he finishes selling the current one. That's inflation. So if you have a stable exchange rate, it will minimize inflation to the barest minimum. And in order to stabilize the exchange rate, you do not need to introduce artificial money. Artificial in the sense that it was not generated from Nigeria's economy. Anywhere you generate that foreign exchange that is not generated from Nigeria, the people that brought that money, whether it's a loan, whichever country that gives you that money to introduce in Nigeria, they will always want to take back that money to their own country. It's natural. So it means that it will not be sustainable. Why not work towards generating that foreign exchange in your own country so that it will be a natural flow? People who export and get foreign exchange will sell it on the market. People who need them to import more will buy from them. That's how it works. There's no need relying on a country that we should be competing with. Yes, Saudi is very much like Nigeria. Forget about the fact that they are pumping more oil than Nigeria, but Nigeria can actually do more to improve the overall millions of barrels they are exporting. Yes, crude oil is our principal foreign exchange earner. Why are we not capitalizing on it in order to earn more dollars to stabilize the foreign exchange in Nigeria? It's very simple to do. If they're able to solve the security challenges and oil theft in the Niger Delta, they can stabilize the export at about 2 million barrels per day. If they're able to do that, and considering how much crude oil is being sold per barrel today, you will see that Nigeria will be able to earn billions more in dollars that will help stabilize the exchange rate. They don't need the help of Saudi Arabia. Rather, they need to emulate them. In Saudi Arabia, they have evolved. They know how much, with the use of technology, they know how much they are pumping at any given time. Why can't Nigeria do this? It is simply because corrupt people are involved. They will never do something that will benefit the country. They always give room for manipulations. Yes, corruption is a huge problem. It's not as if they don't know what to do, but they will not do it because they must earn money illegally. Instead of the country earning this money to solve our problems, they will prefer that money to go to private pockets. That's the problem here. So it's very shameful that a country Nigeria should be competing with, we are now begging them to come and invest in our country when we can't even put our house to order. Many Nigerian administrations have proven that we do not have a revenue problem. Rather, we have a spending problem. Look at the recent supplementary budget that was passed. They are busy buying luxury cars for government officials while inflation is approaching 30%. Governance is not just about being in charge of expenditure and political decisions. It is also about making the right decisions, steering the economy to the right path, growing the economy, improving the GDP, providing services. This is the job of people in government. This brings us to how to attract foreign investment. You have to do the basics. It is the work of people in government to provide the enabling environment in your country. When the enabling environment is there, you will see people rushing into your country to invest. You will not call them. They will be knocking on the door. Most Nigerian embassies will be overflowing with foreign investors that are seeking to enter Nigeria to look for opportunities. This is very basic. If you don't do this, no one will come here. It's simply a waste of time. Look at the time of Obasanjo, when he toured the whole world looking for foreign investment. They did not come. They never came to Nigeria. Why? It is because the basics that attract foreign investment were not there at the time. They are still not in Nigeria now. They don't exist. So no one will come here. It is not just infrastructure that attracts foreign investment. Infrastructure like having 24-hour power supply, having good roads, having all the necessary basics, ease of doing business. Your country must still be a country that is guided by laws, not lawlessness that we see all around us. If an investor is not sure that he will get justice in an ordinary civil matter in a Nigerian court, he will not risk his money and invest here. Never. Nigeria is a country where people rig elections and the aggrieved parties go to court to reclaim their mandate or seek a cancellation of the elections. The judges, instead of interpreting the laws the way it was made, they will throw the law and all evidence away in order to support the party in power. Do they think that people are not watching? Even Nigerian startups are finding it difficult to get funding from foreign investors. Most foreign investors in the US will never invest in a Nigerian startup. Once that startup is registered in Nigeria, they will never invest in it because it will be difficult for them to pull their money out. Apart from the laws that they do not respect, you can't get justice in a Nigerian court and many other issues, they will never invest in a startup. Ask all the people around, you will see that most of them are moving to Western countries. They are registering their companies in Western world in order to get funding. So Nigerians are moving away from their country to go to other countries for better life in order to get funding and all that. You expect foreigners to come and invest in a country where their own people are running away. You can never eat your cake and have it. You can't have a lawless society and expect people to come and invest in your country. No, nobody will risk even $1 million because they know that to pull out that money will be a problem. Many international airlines still have their money stuck in Nigerian banks. They simply cannot exchange that money to dollars to take it back to their country. Even Nigerians living abroad are now reducing their investment in their own country because of trust issues. Many of them don't know what is happening in the country. They rather invest in the country where they are living than invest in their own country. So if the basics are not there, you will never have foreign investment in your country. the basics, apart from physical infrastructure that is needed for manufacturing, your country must be observing rule of law. If you do not have these basics, no one will come and invest in your country. Look at Vietnam, for instance. Many companies are now divesting from China because China is no longer the place you can manufacture things cheaply. Apple just announced that they will manufacture the next iPhone in India, no longer China. So you can understand how it works. You must have the enabling environment. It doesn't end with stealing and rigging elections and bribing judges to get judgment in your favor. No, the whole country suffers for it. That is the point. That is the point that many people do not understand. They think that this is about sports, that this is my team, let my team win. It doesn't end there. Nobody will escape the problem in Nigeria. No matter how highly placed you are, you can never escape the happenings in Nigeria. That's how it works. And because the people who stole and came through the back door do not have any idea about how to turn things around, we are still stuck. In fact, the economy has regressed more than they met it. It is very easy to create an enabling environment first for Nigerian investors who have monies in bank. They refuse to invest that money because they don't have confidence in their own country. You need to get these people to invest in the country first before foreigners will start coming. In fact, Nigerian investors should be the top priority. They should be the target of the government, because when they invest in their own country and earn profits, the money still remains here. They won't take it elsewhere. Unlike foreign investors that will always repatriate their benefits and profits. So you can understand that these people are not competent. They don't know what to do. They are looking for advice. Why not allow the people who know what to do to turn things around to do the job directly? Yes, this is common sense. You do not employ a doctor in the place of a pharmacist. You do not employ a welder in the place of a mason. That's how it works. You have to employ people who will do the job. And not that these people were employed, they were never elected, they were selected by the elites. The elites do not believe in Nigeria. That's the truth. They do not believe in this country. Most of their families are abroad. During the time of EndSARS, many of them flew abroad because they didn't know what will happen. They thought that it might lead to something else. So they ran to safety. Most of them maintain passports of other countries that they can quickly run to without needing visas. So that is the major problem. When the elites don't believe in the country, is it the masses that will believe in the country more than the elites? The elites are supposed to be more educated, more versatile. They are supposed to know more. But the reverse is the case in our system. They are only interested in their selfish pockets, what they can get from the system. They are not interested in improving the system. They just want to while away time and be in control of the Nigerian treasury, making decisions, calling the shots, you know the works. That's all they are interested in. Thanks for watching.